Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm gonna wait until about 10:05 so people can start joining in, and then we'll start. I will say today's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter call. I'm not feeling great, and this week's been super busy on our end, but obviously, operations wise, feel free to message us in Slack and we can answer questions as needed on that as well.
How's your weather over there, Brandon?
It's about 55 and sunny, so not bad. It's been raining for the past 3 or 4 days. So
You same, yeah. You got better weather than we do. It's sunny here, but it's like 35.
yeah, you guys are probably gonna get snow soon, right?
I had to turn the defrost on my car sitting outside last night. We had frosty windows.
Yeah, yeah, it's about that time. It's almost November.
It's spooky season, almost Halloween.
Yeah, a couple more days. They're doing a parade here in town tonight for Halloween.
Fun. Well, I hope you feel better soon.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. All right. If people start trickling in, I'll admit them. But today I wanted to talk about Oil U and post training after you are already operational. Oil U, obviously, we've talked about Oil U during Discovery Day. We've talked about it at training, and this is what our training platform consists of from this website. But this is also used for after sorry, this is also used for after you're already operational. We can use this website to answer questions, find templates, find different guides here, training materials, social media, brand standard guides, pre-approved guides, holiday banners. This is also where we upload our these video calls too, is the Quick Lube operations call and Q&A. Future of the Quick Lube industry. So Costa does his calls weekly on Tuesday with prospective franchisees, and you can find these and kind of see what his thoughts are on the industry and when those are. And then we also are making Quick Lube best practice shorts. So these are just going to be very quick, 2 to 3 to maybe 5 minute videos going over different topics in the Quick Lube industry and what the best practices are and being able to answer those questions. So if you have a question about something, I would, maybe set it time aside at night or during the day when you're not busy to go over these best practices and all of the calls that we have. We have how-to guides up here as well. So you can click on how-to guides, and it's a bunch of videos that Costa and myself and our back office team, like Cody and Aaron, have made as well. And it can show you a bunch of different topics that we go over: how to set up your Costa Oil's email using Outlook, creating a QR code for a business card, for Google reviews, so you can actually get a big one made and put it in your shop, and then when you ask people for a review, you can point them to the QR code. They can pull their phone up on their camera app. It takes them directly to your Facebook or your Google page to leave a review at that, like right then. They can do those types of things: how to run a report for Time Station, where to find oil changers, training guides, all that type of stuff is going to be in here. So I wanted to make just a quick mention of about Oil U. There's a lot more material on here than most people think, and when they get in here, they start to find that the questions that they've asked previously over the past couple of weeks can be found here. We don't mind answering those questions, but we don't want to keep saying, check Oil U, check Oil U. Oil U should be the first place that gets checked when you guys have a question, and then come to us and say, hey, I can't really find this in Oil U. Can you guys help us out with this question? Or how would you, handle this situation? And that way, if it's not on Oil U, we can make a video for other franchisees to use that question as well. And we can make a video specifically on that question. And this is going to be how other franchisees that are operational can help the next set of franchisees that start to open up. We do have about 5 franchisees that are probably going to be open within the next 30 to 45 days with conversions. And I'm going to start traveling out again, getting other stores ready to open. So those franchisees that are about to open can look at these videos or answer these questions, or look at the way how we answered a question and use it for the future. And that's kind of just part of how we're going to grow together as the entity, as a franchise system together, and really just start to fortify our foundation that we've laid out in the past couple of months. So there's guides here. Like I said, there's templates, construction templates with our building diagrams and all those questions. How deep are the pits, that and all that type of stuff. Operational templates as far as hiring and schedule. So if you have 3 guys, we actually have a schedule made here that you can download and print out, and you can use this template. If you have 2 stores, we have a 5-man where we do 2 full-time guys at each store right here, 2-store 5-man model. And you can go in and you can look at how these people are should be laid out, or how we lay it out, and how many hours they would be working, and so on and so forth. So a lot of good information here on Oil U. I wanted to bring that back to the forefront of our minds on support. And then also I also wanted to make mention about the reason our franchise system is the way it is that we use a lot of third-party vendors, right? So Gusto is a third-party vendor, Square is a third-party vendor, Time Station is a third-party vendor. All of the things that we put in front of you guys, all the tools that we give you to run your business, we currently use. And the reason that we use them is because they have such a great support structure in their space. So, I've had people ask me questions about benefits, and our benefits package that we do at corporate is different than what you are going to do. So benefits questions should be relayed to Gusto's benefits, team. You get a dedicated benefit coordinator that you can reach out to whenever you need to, and you can ask those questions. Same thing with Time Station. Time Station has been or has a support team, and so does Square, so on and so forth. So those third-party apps that we use, or third-party vendors, have a very good support structure and customer service department. And that's why we give you those tools, is because there's a lot of questions that they're going to be able to answer for you that I might not have seen before. And I'm going to have to go to the support channel of that vendor as well to get the answer to help you out. So I just want to, oilu.org, that's where we're going to be finding all of our support questions, all of our training materials. Like We have a retail business training course that a lot of people haven't taken yet. And then you also have training for your managers, training for owners, training for oil changers. When you hire on somebody new, hands-on training is great, but when it's slow and you guys don't have vehicles in your store, you have a computer at your kiosk, or at your oil change facility. I would have them spend 30 minutes here, an hour here, so on and so forth when you guys aren't busy, to make sure that they understand who we are, what we're trying to do, what our concepts are, as well as how to perform an oil change the way that we do it. When you hire on people from Take 5 and when you hire on people from other places, they already have a preconceived way of doing things, and it's hard to change that habit. But if we can show them what we're trying to do and how we're trying to change this industry, we can get them to come over to our side and see how we're doing it. Under the tab training material guides, this is going to be your oil changer responsibility. So it goes through every single responsibility that the oil changer has. This is the 6 key customer interaction points for owners. So this is going to be something that you're going to want your whole team to know, but it's also going to be for the franchisee that, there's 6 key points of the service here. And if we pull this up full screen, it'll come up full screen for us and we can look at it. But the site approach, so make sure the outside of your bay looks really nice. The greeting, make sure that you make a good first impression. Every customer should be greeted within 10 seconds. The service presentation, make sure that you're asking them how they're doing. Is there anything in particular that brought you in today? Do you have any promotionals or anything like that? That's when they're going to say, yeah, we saw your Facebook ad for $10 off or $15 off. And you're going to say, awesome, that's great. The technical consultation, this is the opportunity to show or give your customer the facts about any worn parts. So when that bottom pit guy goes down under, he should be looking the entire way of the car just at a glance, and say, oh, there's a rear main seal leak, or they have transmission leaks. So that's just something that obviously we can't fix, but we're going to want to give those to the customer and let them know what's going on with their vehicle, because it's not something that they look at every day underneath their vehicle. The value statement in closing, and then also the departure. So this is just something, this is here for the owners. And I do implore you to please go on here, explore, take courses that are in the training courses, like the retail business management training. Take these extra courses that aren't done at actual training. These are post-training courses that should be done after you're open, and they just start honing in your skills as an operator. So this is something that I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to open up the floor now to anybody who has any questions, anything specific to operations, and we can answer those as well. I'm probably going to just do another 10 minutes or so, and then in this meeting today. But like I said, Slack, please message us in those channels that you guys have for your stores and any franchisees that aren't open yet. There's the operating channel, and then you could also message us individually in the general or just sending us a DM.
Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Hey, Mitch. Good.
Quick question. As you know, I bought the big outdoor rated LED backlit Costa Oil sign for the front of the building. And the sign company and the township are not easy to deal with, but anyway, they're asking for a UL number. Is this UL rated or not? Because it came from China, and I understand it's only 12-volt DC low voltage, but they're still not giving me any grace or leeway. Do we have UL number for that?
I'm gonna have to get with the either the schematics or the plans. So I'm looking for those right now in our files. I was looking yesterday as well.
Okay.
But I was super booked up yesterday. I plan on looking today. If I can't find it today, I'm gonna reach out to the manufacturer and see if they can give us that number as well. And I can try to get that to you by the end of the week.
Yeah, it's still probably gonna be another month or so before we get that sign up, unfortunately. And I
Yeah.
don't know, when you guys put it up in your Illinois store, did you have to deal with all that or just do it yourself?
We did it ourselves.
Okay, and there's no sign license or permit required from the municipality?
No, I mean, we haven't, nobody's reached out to us about it, so.
I already got a, I don't know, what do you call it? A bad news warning letter because I had my Mustang parked out in the front yard. And they gave me a warning that they're gonna fine me and all this. They're just stinkers here. So I need that
They
UL.
could- oh,
Thanks.
okay. Yeah, I will, I'll do everything that I can to get that to you by the end of this week.
Perfect. Thanks, Brandon.
Yep.
Hey, Brandon, this is Craig. Can you hear me?
Hey, Craig, how's it going? Yep.
Good. Hey, and this may be an offline question, so apologize if it is, but just curious, when you were talking about bringing people in from other brands, have you found, and I know this is probably more of a local thing, but have you found that cost of wages for technicians is similar to Valvoline and so forth? I mean, can we actually poach from those guys?
Yeah, if you have an ad up and somebody that works at another shop looks for another oil change position, we are comparable to those other shops. I mean, so we had, I don't think Keith is on the call, but we had Keith here for training last week or 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about pay, and I was like, go ahead and pull up an ad that you have because Valvoline and Jiffy Lube and Take 5 always have ads running. It's 100%. Their turnover rate's so high, they always have to have an ad going and boosted. But they were starting their techs out at 13 an hour, going up to 15 an hour where he was. And we start out at 13 an hour as well and go up to 15, 16, 17, depending on the experience of the manager, if it's a manager, if it's just a tech. But yeah, so we are comparable to the other brands out there. And if they do have experience, so if I'm hiring somebody from Take 5, if somebody reaches out and says, hey, I work at Take 5 down the road, I would love to come work for you guys. I'm not making the money that I want to, but I really want to be in this industry. I'll say, okay, well, what are you making now? And they'll say, well, right now I'm working full time at $13.50. I'll say, okay, cool. You have experience a little bit in the shop. I would love for you to come work for us. We'll get you where you want to be. Well, we'll start you out at $14.50. So giving just that dollar extra, and he really seems like he wants the job and he really wants to make it in this industry. It's worth the money to pay that extra, a little bit extra, to get them from somebody that's already had to deal with him either knowing nothing or him just trying to get into a position where he can grow, and either Take 5 or Jiffy Lube or whoever it is isn't doing that.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yep.
I go to Valvoline here, and there's some good technicians there, but every time I go to Valvoline, I like throw up a little bit in my mouth every time, Brendan.
Yeah, I drove down to Georgia a couple weeks ago, and I ended up, so my Jeep, I drive a 2019 Jeep Cherokee, but those engines are notorious for leaking oil or burning oil. So I was gonna wait until I got back here to get an oil change, but I actually have a buddy that lives in Georgia, and he's the manager of a shop there. So he hooked me up with an oil change. I knew him really well, and I didn't have to pay for it. I wouldn't have paid for it. But they ended up just topping me off, and I actually didn't need to get an oil change. He just topped me off. But we were talking about it, and I was telling him about what we're doing and so on and so forth. And because he's kind of seen our journey, actually watching through my LinkedIn page and through my Facebook and all that. And he was like, man, I know every single person in this shop would leave right now and come and work for you guys just because of the dynamic that you guys bring to the industry. So I think
awesome.
that it's a huge outcry to what the other big guys are doing in this space. I think that once we start, getting these stores really opened, it's going to shake a lot of boots. I think Take 5 and Valvoline aren't really seeing it yet because we don't have a whole lot open. We have 6 open. Mike O'Connor's opening up his second on November 4th. I believe. Yes, November 4th. And so that's going to be 7. And then Peachtree City, Georgia is going to be opening soon, December 2nd. So once we start getting these open and open and open, it's really going to change the industry. And I would see a lot of techs that will leave those other places because they don't care about them, or they're not making the money that they want to. I can see that being a huge shift in the valve to take 5 space when we start opening up these stores in quantity.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna before I get my store open, I think I'm gonna drive down to Next Oil Change and go see Mike. So
Yeah, he has one. His next one's opening up on East Independence.
yeah,
In Charlotte. Yeah. So
thanks, Brandon.
yeah, great question, Craig. Thank you. I enjoy that. See, I like doing these types of calls with everybody on here because they ask certain questions and it just opens it up to everybody. Being able to kind of do like a workshop type deal. So I enjoy these a lot. Thank you. All right, well, if nobody else has any more questions, this will be uploaded onto OilU. And everybody that's in here, please, if you haven't already, get with your coordinators about Slack. It's the easiest, the best way to communicate to us about your needs and questions that you have. The reason that we're switching to Slack is because everybody in the back office can see when you send a message into your group or into the general channel or into we have an operations question channel. And you can put those in there. Once your store gets operational, you get your own private channel that you have access to everybody in the back office to answer questions. So if I'm not available, Costa is there. If Costa is not available, I'm there. If I'm not here and Costa's not there, then Aaron, Cody, Justin, everybody back here can answer those questions or find out where those are. So if you haven't gotten a link to Slack yet to become a member with us, it's completely free. You just put in your email address and get all connected there. Please get with your coordinator and we'll get you an invite so you can be a part of that with us. This video will be uploaded to our OLU website. So if you ever have any questions or you missed something maybe from the beginning, you can go ahead and go back and listen to it at your leisure. Hey, Ram, I just saw that you unmuted. Do you have a question?
Yeah, no, Brandon, I was just seconding your idea on using Slack. It's an amazing tool. So really appreciate you doing that for us.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Ram. I appreciate it. Yeah. Mitch has been using it a lot as well. He loves it. I'm sure of it. I love it personally, just myself. It's so much easier. It doesn't matter where I am in the country. I can answer a question without having to try to get in my email or trying to take a call while I'm on a plane. As long as I have Wi-Fi, I can answer a question. So it makes things a lot easier for all of us to stay connected. So thank you so much for being here with us today, guys. We'll be back next week on Thursday as well. And if you guys have any questions in the interim, please feel free to reach out. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks, guys.